Yeah, I've always found that fact very interesting. Blind bats, they aren't blind.
They aren't blind, actually. It's darkness. That's why we just think that they're blind. Have you ever held a bat in your hand?
No.
Wow.
You haven't?
As you know,
Very
People
interesting
have
creatures,
actually, and I hear they're a bit squirmy. Yes.
Yeah, very interesting creatures.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
this
let's
conversation just, I don't know.
let's leave that for another day. But
Like,
I have one.
gosh.
In any case, let's talk about something that
Weird
I'm not too happy talking about. Now, for the first time, I'm going to raise a topic on Big Brother here on the Coffee Gist. So it so happened that in the past weekend there was a conversation inside of Big Brother that's got everybody stirred up on social media and even gotten some federal establishments concerned.
Lagos State.
Lagos State, yes. This was the conversation between Seyi Awolowo and a couple other housemates with Money and Soma also in company, which had some very risque, very, what could be termed as very immoral connotes, where he used the term running a train on daughters, which has become an international stare. Everybody's talking about it. I even hear some international news agencies are talking about this. Now, in the conversation, which I'm going to be very tacit about, he referred to building up boys to take on other people's daughters in a very unfortunate manner.
Using that term.
Using that term, which I just did. Yeah. Now, people have talked about the fact that that was something not expected of somebody of his status, first off, knowing where he's from, who he is, or his pedigree. And then the platform itself, Big Brother, why you would allow such a thing go on seemingly unpunished. No reference to it, especially the fact that he was up for eviction this weekend and he was saved by the jury. So, are they encouraging such things? On his part, was he inebriated while he was saying these things? And how come the people or the company in which he was saying these things saw it as commonplace to simply laugh about the issue and not refer to how disgusted, if they were, about it?
Yeah. So
plenty of things unpacking to do here.
Angles. First of all, it's a TV show. And I do believe it's a TV show that has many different shots, angles, scenes happening simultaneously. And the fact that this particular scene was, put out there, even though as if I was a producer and I heard something like that coming, I do believe there's an opportunity to sort of switch the conversation.
Exactly.
Take it off air. You hear something coming, you're like, maybe not for TV. But I do understand that, it's keeping tongues wagging and eyeballs. But now from the issue of the domestic violence of it all, the sexual violence of it all,
sexual violence,
of the term, I would like to hope that there was a certain level of inebriation. And when I say inebriation, maybe there was a lot of alcohol involved during this conversation, which led to laughter and, in quote, maybe some sort of agreement amongst the people that he was talking to.
They were very uncomfortable, I must mention. They were uncomfortable, but nobody called him out for that.
That's the issue.
Nobody said, no, man, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You might be right about alcohol consumption, but then again, this is a platform where you know that it's not just Nigeria, it's not just Africa, it affects the world I'm broadcasting to. Certain, what do you call it now? I don't know, Mary, you're a bit quiet on this one. I really want to know what your opinion is.
I'm actually thinking 1,000 things at once.
I can tell.
On the one hand, I'm thinking to myself, there's this talk, there's a popular saying that when someone is angry or when they are drunk is when you hear the truth.
The true
about,
nature.
What's inside of them. So even with the inebriation part, you need to also put that into consideration too. Yes, it's easy to make excuse for those around him. They could also be too, inebriated to have reacted. However, the reality is, to them, it seemed normal because, I hate to say this, but many of them already did that to other people's daughters as well.
Oh, you mean society has been conditioned?
Yes, so it's sad that things like that are unspoken, but are actually, in quotes, a norm. It's sad. Things like that are unspoken. Now, the reason people are coming after him is because of the fact that he said what is not usually expected to be said, and on a public platform like that. When you see guys talking, when you hear them talking in private, I dare say these are some of the things they talk about. But the challenge here, the problem he's having is because, one, he already has this trailer load of issues people have with him, in addition to the fact that he's saying something that should not be said out loud. How do you talk about running trains on people's daughters?
And training up your
It's
own
something I've
children
heard guys say
Yeah.
10 years, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's not new. But on the platform, yes, it might be in quotes. Maybe that's why the platform excused it. The fact that it might be inebriated. But you said it. Like,
What do you suggest now that it's been said? If it was called to his attention that what you said and so and so, what do you think the action of the platform should be?
so if it was brought to the fore, I see Seyi going,
Apologetic.
duh, how
Or
many
duh.
of you guys
Haven't.
haven't? And that's
Really?
the truth. See, you know this. That's why I said the sad part of this issue is it's a classic case of throw the first stone if you've never done it. It's a classic case. There are few guys that can claim that they have not done that. It's sad, and it's true. It's sad. So
But
I
if-
know when I was growing up, I knew of a set of triplets who were notorious for that.
I want to shift us away
were.
from that. I just
Yeah.
want to focus
Yeah,
on the fact
exactly.
that this was set on such and such a platform. Especially with the advent of social media now in this day and age, which
There's
has
some things-
blown it up. Not that blown it out of proportion. It has really made it, it has magnified it. I want to recall a certain reality show in Nigeria from, I think, 20 years back.
Yeah.
I think I know
will
what you're
not
talking
mention the
about,
name.
10-year-old.
I will not mention
Oh,
the name,
God.
but it was the same. It was similar. It was a similar instance where it was asked, "What would you get a 10-year-old for her birthday?" And then one of the participants
Yeah.
actually said, "Get her pregnant." Now this was very
I
bad.
wonder how many people remember
this was-
this.
this was-
Is that
it was
the
20 years ago.
participants, for those who are wondering,
Hold on,
is actually
hold on.
a very popular artist right now. In fact, is in quotes well respected, and he said it years ago on that platform. It was
The
a
issue
music
now-
show, by the way.
The issue now is not that it was said, but what can we actually do? We all have daughters. These things are being said. For many parents out there that didn't even really know or consider the fact that this could happen or be happening to their daughters, it has brought something to light.
That if men are thinking this way,
If men are
how do you
thinking-
condition women to think?
Yes. How do you condition women to think? How do you condition your own daughters to think? How do you prepare their minds to protect themselves against the mindset of the, in quote now, average guy who has this mentality or has a father willing to fund and support that mentality financially, providing a Benz so that they can drive there to your daughter's house to do that? What does that exactly mean for how we are raising our kids? Do we need to start
What do we
adding-
owe our daughters then?
Do we owe them self-defense classes now? Do we owe them some yes,
Self-defense
yes,
classes.
because
Well, she is
the
right there,
term-
Mary. Very,
the
very
term
true.
Is with or without, it means with or without consent. So it could happen with consent if they're daring enough, or without, meaning that they were
Titi, allow me to
careless.
summarize by saying, if these are what parents are teaching their sons, then we need to teach our daughters better. We need to teach them that this is what people are thinking out there. Condition them to know that this is wrong, this is what's happening, and this is how you have to protect yourself, whether morally, whether physically,
Yeah.
even, or how to note certain circumstances that could lead to that
Red
kind
flags.
of an instance.
Look,
the
my
red flags,
biggest issue with
exactly.
this thing is the society itself. Why should a girl be ashamed to talk about the fact that this happened to her? That is where the...
That's another topic.
Because if she can go to the police station or even blow it up, the few girls that have stood up to say, oh, this guy did this on me, or this group of guys did this to me,
Well,
do you know
tell
what could have happened?
Tell you what, we will discuss this on another edition for the.
Maybe we should continue
topic.
if there's chance in the second
Yeah,
one.
maybe we should. So do stay tuned. You might get to hear about it again. Stay tuned. Let us know what your opinion is. Use the hashtag. I was about to say Black Table. Use the hashtag
Stop it.
WakeUpNigeria on TVC, and we'll be back.